Adios. Well, I guess that means it's time to start hiking. So one thing I was hoping for, I literally just got on the trail, and the very first thing I have to do is cross this. According to my trail guide, I didn't see a water crossing. So the very first thing I was gonna do is cross this, and I just decided I don't want to have wet feet on this trip. I don't want my socks and shoes to be wet. So I'm barefoot. I'm gonna get across this, wipe my feet off really good, and then we'll actually get to start hiking. I didn't think I was gonna be doing this early, but here we are. We're gonna get it going. We've got dry feet. That's the big thing right now. And there are no more water crossings apparently for this entire thing. We'll have some creeks I'll come up on, but should be some rock skipping. Of course, we've had a lot of rain, so there's a chance that we could have some serious issues with mud today, but no big deal. It is beautiful outside. It's about 60 degrees and it's beautiful. It's a little overcast and it doesn't look like there's any rain on the radar, so we're gonna get at it. Because the Sheltowee Trace is also an ATV trail, you get a lot of this. Just huge sections where there's nothing but mud puddles. Not a big deal, but it definitely will slow things down a little bit today. But again, not doing big miles today. Not even 10 miles, I don't believe. So we should be in pretty good shape. There's no way a camera can justify how cool the rocks are in Kentucky. Just seeing these cliff faces and random little mini caves and things. It's just incredible. It's just a little end cove in there. If it had been raining, I could have gone in there and just kind of hung out until the rain stopped. I mean, this is just unreal. So the day started off with a creek crossing and then immediately onto a hill. And it's been really nice up to this point. I mean, the terrain's a little rough. Like I said, it's an ATV trail. So you're gonna have a lot of dirt bikes and ATVs, 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, gators, things like that coming up through here. But when the trail's been in good shape, it's a little wet. I'm a touch concerned about keeping my feet dry today. I was really hoping for that, but I think we're gonna be okay. But it is beautiful out here. Right now we're just looking at basically the green tunnel. But as we go along, there's gonna be a lot of just beautiful cliffs and rocks and things like that. If you noticed, I'm back to wearing the Ultras again. I took them off early on in the Sheltowee because I was blistering pretty bad. But a really strange thing happened to me. Somehow, in the last few months, my feet have grown a half a size. And so on my other boots, the last time I hiked in March, or the last time I backpacked in March, I had 2 black toes. I lost 2 toenails, and made no sense because I've never had that happen before. And sure enough, my feet grew a half a size. So right now, I'm wearing the Ultras. They had a lot more room in the toe box than my Moabs had. So I'm wearing them today, and just trying to make sure I take care of my feet, preparing everything for the Saturday road walk. I wish I wasn't so slow on the draw. Just back probably 150 feet, I'd stopped just for a second and heard some rustling in the woods and turned around, and 2 deer maybe ran 100 feet from me. It was beautiful. I am just not quick enough to get the camera out and get video of it. But it's one of the things I love about being outside. It's just being in nature, seeing the animals, hearing the birds, breathing clean air, not air-conditioned air. I love everything about it. So stop for lunch for a little bit. It's about 4.5 miles in. Having a little lemon pepper chicken wrap that I made for lunch. We're gonna get going. Got about 6 more miles to go today. The weather's been fantastic. I mean, I can't complain at all. It's been absolutely gorgeous. The craziest thing about the Sheltowee Trace is you never really see hardly anybody on this trail. So when you go out to solo hike on this trail, you are going solo. There's no doubt about it, which honestly is fine with me. I just really like getting out by myself sometimes. I always prefer people with me, but there are just times when I want to be by myself and get some peace and quiet. And this has been really nice so far. So just came up on this guy. He couldn't have fallen down too long ago because all of the leaves are completely green. So, man, this was one big tree. I guess it's time to climb around and through. I was saying this tree's huge, it's massive. It starts over on the other side of the creek. It goes all the way across and up that hill for a while. That's gotta be a good 60 or 80 foot tree. This thing is massive. I'm walking a little slower right now. Caught a section of mud back there and twisted my right ankle pretty good. I got some pain shooting from just above my ankle down into my foot. And so I'm not far from my camp, probably 2 miles. Definitely moving a lot slower than I was earlier. It's just the trail's in rough shape. And it's mostly because of weather. It's not because the trail's not in good shape. It's because it has rained so much here in central Kentucky and eastern Kentucky for the last 2 weeks that there's like little mini ponds all over the trail, and a lot of the trail is just really soupy. So you'll step on what looks like it's just flat ground and your foot will just slide. I don't think it's anything serious, it just hurts. So I'll walk it off, get to camp tonight, rest it, and be ready for tomorrow. So far today, I've been able to see several deer out here on the trail, and apparently they really like this trail because there are deer tracks everywhere along this trail. I miscalculated my creeks. I had an extra one here. So for the first time today, I have an actually wet foot. So I've got my right foot's wet, my left foot's dry, but I almost bit it trying to come across. I stepped on the wrong rock and my whole body decided, no, we don't like this one. And I almost bit the dust. I caught myself, but man, so far the hike's been good. It's just mud. It's mud everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do, you're just hiking in mud. Yeah, I just look forward to some dry ground. Hopefully I'll get some tomorrow. All the mud and the big puddles and the ATV trails and the poison ivy and all the stuff that's been going on so far today with the hike. I've been waiting for the payoff. Like, where is the view? Where is the thing that wins the day? And I found it, and it is this campsite. Check this out. There's 2 fire pits, tons of area for tents, and it's right next to this beautiful running water. Oh, I'm so glad I skipped out on Turkey Foot and I decided to come here instead. This is going to be a good night. It's a little after 4 o'clock and I've made camp. I'm telling you, this is beautiful. I'm gonna sleep like a very happy baby, not the kind that wakes up every 2 hours. I've never actually shown my setup and a big 3 and all that stuff before. When I've been out backpacking, I've just kind of gone from the night before to the next day, but I'll give you a real quick glimpse at my setup. I have the Big Agnes Fly Creek HVUL2. It's just a shade under 2 pounds. See the bright yellow cord there? Beginner mistake. I decided on my last trip to yank up one of the stakes with the guy line and it tore it. So I had to improvise the rest of that trip, but got home and and was able to fix it. Now it's much prettier. And honestly, I'm probably going to redo all of them in that. They're just a little easier to see, so if they have to be out pretty far from the tent, if it's at night, they're reflective, I'd be able to see them, I wouldn't be tripping over them. But let me get you in here real quick and let you see the tent. It's a great size tent for one person. I don't know how anybody could ever do 2 people in this thing, but I've got my Enlightened Equipment mass drop. Yeah, I've got the 4 inversion. Revelation quilt. Love this thing. I've been using it for about a year, and it's pretty awesome. I'm using a Climate X pillow. This is probably the most comfortable pillow I've ever used in my life. I thought it was kind of weird looking when I got it. I had one of those you buy it and pay the shipping and you get it for free kind of things, and got it for 10 bucks, and it's been fantastic, and it's now my go-to. And then my sleeping pad right here is the Nemo Tensor insulated 20 degree. I've had mine for right around a year now, and when I got mine they hadn't come out with the one that has the pump sack and all the cool stuff, so it still takes me 20 years to blow up my tensor pad. But if anybody out there wants to buy me one of the new ones, I'll take it. I'm kidding. I mean, I will, but I'm not asking you to buy that for me. I mean, if you want to buy it, you can. I'm just saying. This is my backpack. I have the ULA Ohm 2.0. I've got my trusty Black Diamond Pro Shock Trek poles. That is my Helinox Chair Zero. I have to figure out which campfire I want to set up next to. There's 2 really nice ones, and there's some wood already waiting for me. So for dinner tonight, I'm not having chana masala. No, actually I've already eaten this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to reuse this this package that it was in. You can take these things and rinse them out and use them over and over again. They're fantastic. It also makes it easy when you don't want to spend a lot of money for one of your trips and you don't want to buy a mountain house or one of these backpackers pantries. You just want to get a north side. So we're actually going to have chicken flavored fried rice and sriracha tuna, but it's going to be cooked in this bag. So unfortunately, the Chair Zero is not an option tonight because the ground is just too soft, and it just kind of sinks into the ground. They've got some rocks stacked up in different places through here. Makes for some nice seating, so I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the rest of the evening and hang out. Man, just listening to the sound of that water is incredible. It's going to be a good night.
Good morning. It is right around 7 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be another short day as far as hiking. It's about 10 miles. Yesterday I got into camp at like 3:30, and so didn't have a whole lot to do. There's no cell service out here. I wasn't able to communicate with the wife, so hopefully she's not too worried, but I doubt she is. Here in a second, I'm gonna go make some breakfast, then camel up on the water and get back on the trail. It should be a nice day. There's not supposed to be an ounce of rain, so looking forward to the hike today.
So I'm just about done packing things up for the day, and I decided on this trip I wasn't going to have to bring quite as much food, and I didn't bring any cold weather clothes at all because I knew it's June in Kentucky. It'll get cold at night. I'll just sleep in a little bit. But I decided to try a different raincoat. Been using the Outdoor Research Helium 2 for a while, but I've noticed, like, especially when it's hot weather, I just rather not use it because I sweat so much on the inside of it that I would get just as wet from rain, and rain doesn't smell nearly as bad as sweat. And so I got myself a Patagonia Torrentshell jacket. But there's one really strange thing about this jacket. This is the built-in pouch for this thing. It's massive. So I decided if it's going to be that big, then I'm going to do something a little different with it. So what I've done is I've gone in here and I've put in my electronics bag, my pillow, and my sleeping pad. It's all gone in here. It's crazy. This thing could be a lot smaller, but for some reason they made this huge bag out of it. But yeah, I figured I'd give this jacket a try. It's got pit zips on both sides. It's definitely a lot heavier than the Helium. I think it's like 11, 12 ounces maybe. So it's a lot heavier, but if I'm gonna hike in the summer, I want a little more comfort
when I'm hiking, and a jacket that doesn't let any air out or any air in is just miserable in hot weather. This is a little heavier jacket, but it's actually more comfortable in warm weather. So haven't had a chance to really try it out. I thought maybe it was going to rain yesterday and it didn't.
Who doesn't love it when you get to take your time, you don't have to rush in the morning, you don't have a lot of miles to do. It's just now 9:15 and I'm just now getting out of here. It was just too beautiful. It was too serene. The peace has been awesome. Just being able to sit out here and take my time and enjoy this campsite has been incredible. One last shot. I mean, look at this. It is absolutely gorgeous. You got this cave with a river coming out of it. The sound of flowing water. Man, you talk about sleeping well. It was a beautiful night last night. And then one last shot of this beautiful, beautiful campsite. Can't tell you how blessed I feel to have found this. I mean, it's been an awesome night. The only little negative I have is that there have been some backpackers out here who didn't clean up their trash. I ended up picking up a lot of trash. I'm gonna take it out with me. Mountain house wrappers, cigarette butts, just random trash just left sitting around, and a little disappointed in that. But other than that, I mean, this is about as picturesque as you're gonna find. If you use the Hiking Project app by REI, one of the cool things about the app is that people can post where there's fallen trees, where there's excess mud. I was told on the app today that there were going to be a lot of downed trees, and so I was expecting to have to hike around them, but apparently the Sheltowee Trace Association also gets the memo, because that's all cleaned up. I mean, that's just beautiful. That's so nice not to have to trek all the way up here to get around that tree. Thank you, Sheltowee Trace Association. You guys are awesome. Steve Barber, you're the man. Whoever gave the report of trees being down, we're not kidding. I mean, I just passed one back up that hill, and not even 50 feet later, there's another one down right here. Kentucky was hit with a lot of storms last week, and so it definitely damages the integrity of some of these trees. Ground gets soft and they just fall. Luckily, it looks like people have really done a good job of trying to clean this area out, so shouldn't have too much trouble getting around all this, but man, that rain must have been awful through here. Looks like we got another down tree here. And this is one mad mamma jamba, and there's really no way to get around it. So it looks like the only way is up and over. So I guess we're gonna do a little bit of climbing. Yeah, this tree is just downright huge. It goes clear back that way, and it goes way down that hill. I don't know if you can even see the end of it, but it is massive. It's just so much tree here. And even after you get past it, there's some more of it until you finally get to the trail back there. Man, this one must have fallen pretty recent, because usually something like this gets taken care of pretty quick, but this is pretty nasty. So this is what the trail looks like right now for a lot of it. It's just mud on top of mud on top of mud, and finding creative ways to get around it has not been easy. It's like more than ankle deep, so you can't really walk through it because you could lose a shoe. Yeah, so this is not going to be a fast hike today. It's actually been slowed down quite a bit. A little over 5 miles in, and then this. Man, I love these rock formations here in Kentucky. They are so beautiful. So we got a little bit of road walking going. Just a little bit back, ran into what started out as one dog, quickly turned into 4 dogs, and then a 5th one joined. I brought some pepper spray with me just to be safe, but typically these dogs that do that don't really do anything to you. They just want to bark a lot. And that's pretty much what the case was with those dogs. They weren't very happy with me walking down the road, so we made it. We're all good. Looks like I got just a touch more road walking, and then I'll be back on the trail in just a couple more miles. I'll be settling down for the night and then getting ready for the big 13-mile road walk tomorrow. Camp is set up, trail's right over there, and I'm gonna get ready to have some dinner. Today was rough. There's just the mud. I mean, it slows you down. You can't do anything about it because you just have to deal with it. It's mud, and you just got to deal with it. So that's what I did. But the day's over, so now I'm here, and go ahead and get some dinner started, get the clothes changed, get my shoes off so my feet can just relax a little bit, and just get ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow's the big day. 3 or 4 miles, then the Heidelberg March, 13 miles on the road. So really excited about getting out there and doing this tomorrow.